The year 2019. The game Risk of Rain 2. We're using Steam build ID 3743353. It's April 20th, 2019. Let's get it on. We're going to talk about these characters that you can play as, the survivors. I'm only going to talk about the 4 that I have unlocked so far. And then we're going to, maybe I'll update it later. So the first character I'm going to talk about is Commando. The Commando has a left click is double tap. Shoot twice. It's just a crosshair. You shoot at the crosshair and you deal damage. It's great. It's good. It's probably super basic. Great. Phase round is a right click. Does damage in a straight line, and it goes very far. So if you want to snipe something really far away, you can phase round it, and it'll do a lot of damage. It does a considerable amount of damage, and it's a very low cooldown. So you want to phase round a lot. Also, it goes through objects. So if you're hiding behind something, you can shoot, and it'll go through all the enemies, deal damage to all of them, as well as any like terrain or anything in the way, while your left click, your double tap, does not do that. It'll hit terrain, it'll hit anything, the first object it hits, and it'll stop. Tactical dive is an easy use item. It's just mobility. It rolls in a direction whichever way you're holding. If you're holding the back pedal, your character will roll away. If you're holding forward, your character will roll towards it. Right, left, same thing. It'll just roll that way. Good mobility spell, get you out of stuff. Very short cooldown, very nice. The last ability is R, is Suppressive Fire. It'll stun things and do a bit of damage. It's a good amount of damage. It's 100%, 6 times, so 600% damage. It's good. It's good. It'll stun, stone golems. It'll stun anything that's charging something up. You can destroy it. You can stun it, get away. You can back out. It's a very good ability. Allows you to control the movement of the enemies and, survive some stuff that you might not survive otherwise. It's a good character. Easy, well-rounded character. Let's go look at his stats real quick because these are important. We'll go to the logbook, and we'll go to Survivor. Commando. Here we go. All right, so he's got 110 health. It's a very fairly low health character compared to the other 4 I have unlocked. He's like not the worst, but he's low. And he gets plus 33 per level. And then his damage is 12 plus 2.4 per level. So every time you level up, you get 2.4 extra damage. And then his speed is 7 movement speed. So yeah, that's a very well-rounded single character. Good to start with, easy to learn the game. Very good character, just to play. And then we'll go on to MUL-T. MUL-T is a robot. He's got a multifunctional ability. When you switch between 2 forms, basically, with his retool ability, which is R, it switches between auto nail gun and rebar puncher. Rebar puncher is a charged up kind of laser-like. It feels like it's like a rail gun, so you have to charge it up and then release it. It's really good for killing air units, while his auto nail gun is very good for killing ground units or things that are close by, because it's a kind of a widespread, short-range, very quick attack that fires constantly. Very good for proccing things because it's a lot of little nails, a lot of constant damage. Blast canister is a stun, very similar to the R ability on Commando, in that you can stun something that's charging up, that's annoying you, that's getting your way. And then his other ability, his shift ability, is transport mode. Gain armor and speed. The armor is really important. It's if you're about to take some really big damage or you need to dodge something, transport mode's really great for that. You just dodge through, you get some armor in case you do actually get hit. You'll take less damage. And you'll deal damage to enemies that you pass through, or if it's a big damage enemy, you might just bump into them and stun them while you're charging around. So let's go look at his items. His big thing, again, with the retool, you get the 2 different auto attacks, but you also get 2 different equipment slots. So your Q ability, you can get 2 different items to have on him. So if you get a lot of the items, the things that reduce your Q cooldown or gives you extra charges on your Q, really, really strong with him because you get 2 different abilities that you can have on your character that you can constantly switch between and use. It's really strong. Logbook, Survivor, going to MUL-T. He's on this side now. His health is 200 plus 60 per level, so he's actually really high on the HP. He's double the extra health per level compared to the Commando, and he starts with almost double the health as well. He gains 0.2 less damage per level, so it's really he's more about procs. He's less about doing damage himself. His damage itself is a little bit less than every other character, and he gains a little bit less than every other character, but he also is able to proc things a lot because he attacks so fast with his nail gun. His other attack that attacks air, very good for killing wisps. That's the only time I've ever really used it. I don't really use it otherwise, but unless I have to kill something very far away, you want to use your nail gun and get up close and personal with people because you have enough health to actually survive stuff. Huntress is my current favorite character. I play her a lot. Her left click is fire seeking arrow, so you don't have to actually aim very at all. I mean, you do have to aim. You kind of aim, and you can't necessarily choose exactly what target you want to shoot. You'll get a little reticle around your target that you're hitting. You left click, and your character's arrows will fly around and hit things. So she's really good at constantly auto attacking, but not necessarily focusing down a specific target. If there's a lot of stuff on screen, you might not be able to shoot the guy that's way in the back that you want to shoot. You might have to shoot the guy that's really close to you. So procs are really good with her. Obviously, procs are good on everybody, but things that do damage around and kill everything on screen is really good because she can't really focus exactly what she wants. So you don't get to choose your target. So the sticky bombs and gasoline and will-o-wisp and the daggers that kill things and homing missiles and all these things that do damage in an area and kill everything. Ukulele, really good on her. But I mean, they're good on everybody. But she doesn't get the focus, so it's kind of the same style of play with her. You get to do a lot of damage. That's how I'm playing her at the moment. I'm not sure. There might be better ways. I haven't done any prismatic trials or anything. Her right click is a laser glaive. It's kind of think of it as kind of a Captain America shield or bouncy thing. You don't want to use it on a single target. If there's only one target on the screen, you don't want to use your right click. Doesn't make it really, really strong for killing groups of enemies again because she can. It does more damage the more times it bounces. So if you have two targets and it bounces between them both, it's going to do a lot of damage to both of them. And then if you get the magazine, extra magazine, whatever it's called, I forget. I think it's the magazine item. Once you unlock it and you find it in the world, it gives you extra laser glaive, so you can have more charges of it. It's really, really strong. I really like it on her. While like on other characters, like Engineer specifically, the magazine is not so great because it gives you an extra mine, which is not really that helpful. Blink is her shift ability. Very strong ability. Like, this is probably my favorite reason to play her. You can scale cliffs, you can scale past, you can dodge through things, you can get past enemies, you can do a lot with this ability because you shift, your character will teleport towards your camera's direction, wherever you're going. You can go up, you can go down, you can go back, you can go right, you can flip your camera around quick and go away from the enemies and flip around and then shoot them again. It's really strong. And then our other last ability, R, is Arrow Rain. It'll proc a lot of your damage. It'll do a lot of damage, and it also slows things in it, and it also allows you to dodge some stuff. So, like, if you use your shift, your blink, and you're not able to dodge, like, here comes a laser from a stone golem, and you don't have the ability to get out of the way, you can strafe and try to dodge it. Sometimes you can mess it up. It's not 100%. But if you press R right before it shoots, you can jump in the air. It'll shoot underneath you because it can't track you fast enough. And then you can drop back down. And while it's raining, it'll proc all your abilities and on everything in it, and it'll slow everything inside it. It's really, really strong. We'll look at her stats real quick. Huntress, where you at? There she is. So she's got actually the lowest amount of health in the game, 90 plus 27 per level for the 4 I've unlocked. Maybe with the next survivors, when I unlock them, I'll know. She's the same damage output as the Commando. So 90 health, plus 27 per level, less health increase per level, as well as less damage. And this is all, again, April 20th, 2019, so it could be changed by now, by the time you're watching this. Really strong character. Also, you can left-click while you're sprinting, so sprinting items that help you while you're sprinting are really strong on her because you can use them while you're fighting. Let's go back to see my final character I've unlocked, the Engineer. I think the Engineer is probably the strongest class at the moment, in that he's the easiest to play and survive with, but it doesn't feel very skillful or difficult because I'll show you why. So his left click is bouncing grenades, does a lot of damage. You can charge it up and it'll charge up for a second, and then you can release them all at once, and it'll deal damage in front of you. Deals a lot of damage. AOE does. Procs all your abilities, really nice. His right click is not so great. It's strong, but you have to get used to it. It's pressure mines. I find I use these more for just burning a boss. I'll right click on the boss and it'll throw all my mines out really quick, and then it'll deal a bunch of damage, and I have to wait for almost 10 of my mines to come back before I can throw them. His bubble shield is ridiculously good. It makes it so you cannot be hit while you're inside it from any projectiles outside. So melee attacks can still screw you, and anything that throws things inside, like the golem boss that punches the ground and then it comes up inside your bubble. Not very helpful. It hurts you. But his strongest part, this engineer, is his auto turret. You place a turret, it inherits all of your items, so it's really, really strong. They can proc all your stuff. They can heal you with the fungus. If you get the fungus, it'll heal an area around your turret. You don't have to stop moving, but your turret will actually heal things around it. It'll heal itself, and they do 100% of your damage. So they're really, really strong, and you can have 2 of them out. And then thing to note about the engineer, which I'm not sure if this is on purpose or not, but the engineer actually has the highest health damage in the game, as well as the highest damage growth. So he gets 14 damage, and he gets plus 2.8 per level, and your turrets each do 100% of your damage, so you have 200% more damage. You do a lot. And then his max health is 130 plus 39 per level, so he gets more health than the Commando, but less health than MUL-T. So really strong character, probably one of the strongest in the game right now. But again, I just started playing a couple days ago, so I'm just learning still at the same time. But I feel like I want to impart what I've learned already to anyone who's watching. So thanks, guys. That's it. That's all the survivors that I have unlocked. I'll update it with more when I get more. Chill.